So you still think that reincarnation isn't real, right? Watch this cute little old soul. Listen.
In what days?
Back in the olden days, I used to have an apple and bread.
Who used to feed you apple and bread?
In the olden days, these little lunch ladies.
What olden days are you?
The olden days in the 1954.
Welcome back to another episode of Soul Spa Hypno, where hypnotherapy meets practical spirituality. I'm Pia, the Soul Mentor, and in this Soul Spa session, I'm going to talk about 3 things about reincarnation that you may or may not hear, being spoken out here in these spiritual streets. Now, that video there, let's see, I put that out maybe 3 weeks ago, and it has gone viral, y'all. In that video, you see this little old soul. I think this little girl is almost 4 years old, and she's talking about her past life in 1954. And she's giving these examples about the things that she ate, and she's mentioning cardboard furniture and things like that. And, it's funny because I get a lot of messages and emails and DMs from people sharing their past life stories. And I love a good past life story, let me tell you, or a good reincarnation story. I love reading those comments. And then sometimes, every now and again, we're going to have somebody sending in something telling me that that's not real. The Bible say, and it's appointed man when to die. And after that is the judgment. And so if any of you are on this channel and you feel this deep down urge to send me, a scripture like that or some other scripture to try to support your belief that reincarnation isn't real, please do not waste your time sending that to me. Okay. Instead, take that time to go back and reread that chapter and that scripture and get it into context. And then you will see that that scripture has absolutely nothing to do with reincarnation. Okay. It does not. And just for reference, and I'm not here to debate, biblical theology. I'm just here telling you about my experiences and what souls have told me and what spirit guides me, to share with you. Now, whether you accept that, that's on you. But I ain't trying to get you to believe nothing. Now, if you have not subscribe to this channel, let's just take the next 5 seconds and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with people that you know that are interested in this kind of content. Okay. Now, 3 things that I don't hear a lot about it. So, and I study hypnotherapy, past life regressions, and things like that, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. So I want to talk about those 3 things, okay? And the first thing is that children that have these really strange birthmarks on them, and the parents can't think, why is this birthmark on my child? A lot of times those birthmarks are associated to an injury or some kind of sickness that child had in their past life. Okay? I'm a witness to that. I actually had a client who actually had something going on with her stomach. And there was this birthmark there. And she couldn't figure out what was going on with her gut. And when we get into the regression in that life, she actually was in a war, and this was like in the 1500s, I believe, and the Spaniards were trying to colonize, this particular village, this area. She was trying to defend her home, and she was, stabbed with a sword, and it left a mark there. And she had she saw the weird birthmark, but she was always having some kind of issue with that place where she was injured in that life. So sometimes, and here's a tip. If you are experiencing, if you have the birthmark, and even if you don't, but you're experiencing these weird kinds of pains and you've had it checked out and they can't find nothing that's wrong, and then they want to tell you certain things like, are you sure you're not imagining it, or whatever the case is. Sometimes it could be associated with the past life. That's another great thing that past life regression helps clients to be free from. So that is one of them, the birthmarks and the strange pains, right? So now, some people really think that souls come back, they reincarnate because they just live such a really mean and messy life in their past life. And some of them do. Some of them think that they're coming back so that they can give retribution, or it's karma for payback, or that they live such a great life, but they never got the rewards in that life. And they're coming back now so that they can get their rewards, And both of those could be true. But here's something else that you might want to consider. Souls are created to evolve, to expand, to grow, to have experiences and adventures, okay, and to learn, experience new things. Sometimes that's what souls come back to do. That's why they will come back to experience a different culture, a different gender, a different country, okay? Yeah, because I know that I've gotten plenty of emails telling me that, if you are a certain culture and when you die and you reincarnate, you come back as that same culture, or you come back as that same gender, and that is not true. It's not. Sometimes you might, sometimes you just might, but in the grand scheme of things, if you're trying to evolve, when you want to experience something different, wouldn't you? Now, some do reincarnate back into the same family, and some, have prior knowledge that they want to come back to continue the work that they didn't do in their previous lives. And so that does happen sometimes. But yeah, it is a valid reason that souls do want to come back, because they want to grow. They want to experience something new. Like let's just say, suppose you were experiencing a whole lot of poverty and scarcity in your last life. Do you really want to come back into that same life with that same level of poverty, with that same mindset that kept you in that poverty? I don't think you would. I don't think you would. I know I wouldn't. I wouldn't sign up for that. I would not. I'm like, you know what? Okay, been there, done that. Got the raggedy t-shirt with the holes in it. I think I want to do something different. Let me see what life is on the other side of that. What does that look like? So, consider that too. Now, here's one that, may shock you. Not everyone reincarnates as a human. Okay? Everybody don't come back as and let me say it's like this. Not everyone's past life was a human. Okay? It wasn't a human past life. Okay, yeah. That's what I want to say. In your past life, you could have been in another world. You could have been a being, but you would be what is called an alien. Okay? You didn't have human features like we have them. They look similar, but you weren't considered like a human being. So that has definitely happened. I've had several clients like that. They were not human beings in their past life. So those are things that I want you to think about. And don't limit your mind. Don't limit your soul even. Okay? Reincarnation and past lives is a real thing. So hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel, y'all. Okay? Give this video a thumbs up and share it. I hope you got something from this, and I will see you in the next Soul Spa.